Hey guys, what's up? This is Neon from Golden Swords Inc. and I'm here to do my redstone application kind of show off. What I've done is I've applied for Samgladiator as a redstone engineer, and this is what this is about. So this is really what I'm mostly looking at for working for them as one of their crew members for the redstone engineer, which is kind of like industrial building or like making things more mechanical looking. So what I did was I kind of made a mock-up shop. So like either Fish King Freddy or Crabman Carl or any of those. And so what I've done is I took the door because I don't think there is a door on any of the shops in there. So I made a glass door, and I figured out how to do this a while ago, and I've been using it in like everything we do. And I'll show off some of the other stuff that I've done before too. But this is one of them that I absolutely love using, and it's a glass door. So basically what you do is you step on this pressure plate and the door opens, and it'll stay open if you stand on the pressure plates, but if you get off, it'll close. And don't mind the little contacts thing down there. These are completely separate circuits because these are connected through string, or they're connected through tripwires. So this door is all one complete circuit. So what I had to do, actually I'll wait and show you guys till later on what I did with that. But I made a sliding glass door for the shop, and then all of this is I kind of took the liberty of kind of looking around in the shops for, in the videos, for different things, and I only found a couple of things that really caught my eye as needed, which was some of the stands actually you had to break glass to get into, which what I did was I made a switch so you could get in, but unfortunately the way that they're set up, if they're too close to this glass, they will actually fall off the block if they close. So what I did was I moved the shelves back so you can actually get up into it, grab it off, and I had to break that, and it didn't come off because I'm in creative mode. But all you got to do is flip the switch, and it'll come down, and it'll open and close. But yeah, it looks pretty. It looks like a pretty good shop glass thing. These are all the shelves. I didn't do anything with these. I can do something with them if you guys want me to, as like a test. It'd be really simple. Really, the main concern I'd have with building in like this kind of space is how much underground area I could use to build, because that's really where a lot of my stuff, the redstone stuff, can be held, and probably will be. But what I got next, because these two are, the shelves and the door are on two completely separate circuits. So that's on one, and then this is on another one. But this and the entire building is on one entire circuit. So I will show you the top, which are the lights, and it's controlled by this daylight sensor. And also, I have a bunch of other stuff connected down here through the daylight sensor. This is all still the door circuit, or the shelf circuit, so I'll just box that up. So basically this is controlled by what time of day or what time of night it is. So if it's late in the day, or even like early in the day, the shop will stay open, and when you run over the tripwire, which you guys saw earlier, it will say, "Welcome to Fish King Freddy's store." Oh, yeah, I placed an extra one. So if you walk over this, it'll say, "Welcome to Freddy Fish King's store," sorry. But yeah, if you just walk over it, it'll say that, and I will show you guys all the inner workings after I show you all the functionality of this. So I had to add a, kind of like a employee-only exit, because if you stand over the front in nighttime, it will actually set off an alarm. So what I did was I took a nighttime sensor, and I hooked it up to a bunch of redstone circuits with a redstone repeater on it. And that controls all the lights. So when it gets dark and the store is about to close, then all of the lights will shut off. And also it'll display a little message, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. But one of the main things that this does is it puts I had to build a bunch of this underground because I didn't want this getting in the way of anything up here. So I had to go way underground, and this is the fastest way down. So basically what that nighttime sensor does is it goes all the way down the stairs to this repeater, boosts the signal, and puts all the redstone back down here. So I'll box that up, and the redstone comes down into this piston where it'll choose. So this is the daytime setting, so that when people walk over that tripwire at daytime, it'll send a redstone signal down here into here, which will turn off this signal. There's a redstone torch on the other side of this right there that is turned off whenever this gets powered on, and then it will display the message, "Welcome to Fish King Freddy's store," like it does. So I can show you guys that really quick. It's really quite quick, but I'll break a couple blocks just to show you guys. So if you get off, the redstone torch will come back on. If you stand on it, it will actually turn on. And this is what I I was in an engineering class in college, and we used logic gates, and that's what this is. This is an AND gate, so this only works when both sources of input, so this one and this redstone are live. So if I stand on this, then both these will go out. That torch on the backside will power on, and it'll send a signal into that command block. But if I stand off of it, then it will not send any signal in because it needs both of these to work. So the next thing that I will show you guys is the nighttime feature, I believe. Yeah, nighttime feature. So / time set night, and then you guys will see a message in the bottom underneath this time set night that says, it'll say Fish King Freddy's is now closed. So it just sends a message that this is closed, and now both of these are, one of these is open, and the other one is not. So if I stand on this, it still says welcome to Fish King Freddy's, but that was because I added on a security override. And this is a very special feature of this, because this is where it sets off the alarm. So basically I've got a circuit running from the other end of the input, because both of these have to be on at all times, but it'll only send a signal through if a block is in front of it, so that's why this one's not on. Or this one, it's not saying that if I stand on it. But basically what this does is it sends a signal down here through to the piston down here, and I will drink a night vision potion so that you guys can see this better. So yeah, it basically puts down a redstone signal into this piston, which is not being pushed right now, but it keeps a continuous signal going. And so once I get up here and I stand on top of this, it won't say anything at the beginning. It gives a little bit of a time warning, but basically it runs a signal down this circuit, down into these repeaters, into this block, and as you guys can see, the signal will go around in a circle, go into the circuit down here. There's a comparator down here. I don't actually know why I have the comparator and stuff. I could have just used a redstone signal. But as you guys can see, this block is actually pushed out, and that's one of the blocks controlled by the security override. And so every time it goes around and it hits a certain corner, which I believe it's this one, it sends a signal down through here, and it pushes this piston into, or it pushes this piston with a block in front of this, which sends a signal through here. And it's just a continuous loop until it either hits daytime or somebody comes in. Oh, I fell down a little bit there. Somebody comes in and flicks the override switch. And what the override switch does is it basically sends a signal back to where the daylight sensor did, pushes this block over, and sends a signal back to the AND gate where the welcome to Fish King Freddy's store comes in. And so you go down here, and as you guys can see, because this is a NOT gate, another logic gate, the signal that's coming in, it gets inverted and comes back out negative, and so this block is now away, and it can't send, no signals can be sent into these repeaters to push this piston. It's kind of confusing. It's kind of a strange way of doing it, but it took a lot of redstone and a lot of time, and it's a pretty big build, but I think it's really, really cool because you can have a security system that either says welcome, or it'll give an intruder until the switch is override, or until the switch is flipped to the override. But yeah, we got an automatic door. We have a bunch of shelves that you can use, and I'll just cover that up really quick. And that's kind of one of the basically industrial builds that I made for redstone. I've got a few other ones over here which are regenerating houses, which I make for fun because I can use I know how to use redstone, and I figured out how to use cobble generators to make an entire house. So if I set TNT in here and light it off, it's going to destroy a bunch of these blocks around here, and the house will automatically start to rebuild itself. You may not want to stand in it, otherwise you may get pushed down by some blocks. But as you guys can see, the walls are rebuilding themselves, the floor rebuilt itself, and I can actually make it rebuild that side too. So as you guys can see, in a matter of seconds you can have your whole house rebuilt. Only thing it doesn't do is rebuild chests and keep wooden doors around, because they're really not that strong against TNT. I think chests are actually kind of strong. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's one of the kind of uglier ones because it's made out of cobblestone, but I can make stone ones, which take more time to make, or take more time to rebuild themselves, but they still work just as fine. So as you guys can see, the stone one, it kind of takes time because everything's rebuilding one block at a time. And I hooked up 2 of these, and it's not really the best design to make because at the end when they're both built, they will start to push against each other, and they just won't kind of sit still unless you break a couple more blocks, and then they should be able to go back to normal. But as you guys can see, this house is just rebuilding itself quite well. It's going quite quick. There you go, and now it's completely rebuilt itself. So those are a couple of the redstone things that I have. I've got a few more that I can show you guys in another world that I will be in a second. Alright guys, so this is the second world that I'm going to use for my redstone application because this is really our mod showcase world. I built this, the village was already here, but I built quite a bit of this by myself with one of my friends' help. But what I'm really proud of in this world is actually our gates for the outer fence, and this is actually for a server that we're running right now for my college dorm. But one of the things that I'm really proud of doing in this is the redstone gates that control the outside, which are triggered by daylight sensors. And 2 of them are controlled by the same circuit, but one of them is also controlled by another circuit. But this is the redstone. This is the signal input, I guess is what you'd call it, but it's the solar panel that controls these 2 gates. So when it gets to a certain point of the day, it will actually shut both of the gates so that no monsters can get in if you have monsters enabled on your game. So what it does is, as of right now, this is a daytime sensor, so it's sending signal into this redstone repeater. Underneath it is a bit of redstone, sending it into the repeater, turning off this NOT gate. So when the signal is turned off, or it turns to night, it will turn this torch on, which will turn everything else on. So basically what this is a long tunnel. This bottom one is a long tunnel to the bottom gate of a gate over there, which I can get out right here and fly over here. And it will be, it's like this. It's got iron bars around it, and this one over here is actually controlled kind of the same way, but I didn't want to stretch all the redstone along the top of this because it would have taken me a while, so I just kind of built another circuit. Which this one runs down underneath all of these gates and kind of does it that way. But it takes a bit of redstone and a bit of time to figure out how to do this, but I've actually got a kind of funny system to set it up, really. Basically, I'm using redstone to power these pistons with redstone blocks on them. And so when these redstone blocks get powered, or when these pistons get powered when it turns to nighttime, which should happen really soon, actually. Okay, yeah, the signal's starting to wear down, so once all of these, once the signal starts getting down lower, we'll actually get to see this gate close. These pistons will power on after it gets powered, and there we go. It pushed those redstone blocks underneath those 3 pistons, and those 3 pistons got powered on, and so did the ones up here, which I can get in and show you guys. So it's basically the same setup, except for these don't have redstone blocks. These have got just redstone signals running into them. But you can get into it pretty easy from here and get everything set up, which I'm going to cover that back up. Yeah, I can get in from there. Alright, and so the other gates work exactly the same. So the bottom ones are set up on the same timer as the top ones, so that when the bottom ones are triggered, the top ones will also be triggered at the same time. Which, in turn, leads to the gates closing, thus monsters cannot get in and kill your village. They can't raid you guys or start killing you, like having creepers around, unless you have lights on the, or you don't have enough light on the inside. And I will also show you, this is the door that I had on the front of the supermarket, which is the sliding glass door. And so from the outside, this portion from this block, so the bottom 2 don't count, because you wouldn't see this in a regular build. This would be under the ground. All you'd see is from here over to here. It'd just be the top. So you walk on this, it opens, you walk out, and it closes. But this is the inner gutworks, which it looks a little complicated, but really it's not. So what happens when you stand on these pressure plates is it powers all this redstone underneath, and when it powers this redstone, it will actually turn off this torch, which above this torch is actually another piece of redstone, which is powered when that torch is powered. So if you stand on this, it will cut power to the torch, thus cutting power to the redstone on top of it, which will in turn shut the gate. Now, I can't take full credit for this design. This is not my original design. My original one was a little bit more complicated, but the gate design is all mine, and I also have another one down in our mine shaft, which I actually had something in the bulldozer, but it didn't make it move or anything. It was just kind of boring. But basically what this is, it's like a hidden door. It's not really well hidden. It kind of sticks out a little bit. But what you do is you press this button, it'll trigger pistons on the inside, and it will open this up, and then it will close almost immediately. Well, it does a little time delay, so you gotta wait, go through, then it'll shut. And basically the inner gut works of this are a lot more complicated on redstone. So basically I've got the button back here. It's actually been a really long time since I built this. I don't remember. But I do know that there was a lot of redstone back here trying to fix everything. Okay. Yep, I remember now. So the other button, there's another button on the other side which I pushed to get this open, but it basically triggers the same thing because it runs right into the same piston. So when this piston is turned off, or when this piston is off and the redstone block is back, it turns on all these gates, and the redstone signal goes all the way up and around to the other side. But basically how this works is you press the button, and it will power the piston, which I could actually use a NOT gate, but back when I was starting to do redstone and kind of experiment with it, I always like to use pistons, just because it kind of let you show a little bit more off. But if you press the button and send a redstone signal, it goes right into it, and it turns off this repeater long enough to get those redstone doors open. And so that's basically how that one works. And then I've got one more redstone door to show you guys. And if you have any like suggestions on what you want me to make, or like if I'm going to be doing some stuff on adventure maps, or any kind of map that you guys want me to build or want me to help work on, let me know. And I've also got a little piston door there to come up through here. I've got a hidden door. I've got a lot of hidden doors. I know how to I figured out how to make these pretty well. Oh, there's a security hatch in here somewhere that I could always get into, and I can't ever remember where. Oh good, I didn't break it this time. Okay, so basically this is the piston door. Yet again, another piston NOT gate, because I just didn't ever know how to make NOT gates with redstone torches until a little while ago. But yeah, basically same concept. This powers the two pistons right here, which push the blocks backwards, which I have two buttons connected to this, and one of them goes over top of the tunnel and goes to the other side near the bookshelves. So if I press this button, the pistons will pull in the bookshelves, push that back out, and there we go. That is that one. And now I've got just one last door to show you guys, which is the door to kind of our base of operations. But you actually trigger it with this furnace, and it sounds really weird, and you might not believe me, but it actually works as a good key. So all you got to do is take something that you can put in the furnace, so like planks or like buttons or whatever. You just put it in, and when you put it in, it identifies it as an object, and it'll send out like a little redstone signal, which I'll show you guys in a second. And you can actually open the doors with it. They'll stay open until you take it out, and then they'll close up. But how this works is I have a comparator set in the back with a couple of repeater back here, and it's basically the same as the sliding glass door, except for I didn't make it out of glass, I made it out of quartz. But it's basically the same concept. You put something in here, it goes into the signal, shuts both of these torches off, one on each side, and after it shuts them off, then it actually opens the door and makes it so that you can get in, and you gotta pull your thing out before you can really go any further. So I was going to pull that out from here, and it'll close. Nobody can get in from that side unless they put something into the furnace, but you can get out through this side by just stepping on the pressure plates, and then it'll open, it'll close right behind you. You're free to go about your day. There is one more trapdoor, which is kind of like the one in the bottom of the house I showed you, which you press this button, same thing, opens down there. This one's a little more exposed. I didn't have as much room, so I just put a button there. You can fly up or you can climb up. I made a weather station. You can change the weather clear by using a command block underneath it. And I think I have a couple more trapdoors, but really they're exact same things. Press this one, and a button, you fall into a bit of water. Come over here and press this button. This door will open, and it's like a secret hatch. It works better with corners. But yeah, I think that was really all that this map had that I built. But if you guys want me to put some stuff into your guys' map, then let me know, and let me know what you want. All I need to know is the space that I can build in, and think there was one other thing. Oh, how much time I had to get it all done and built, because some of this does take time, and some of it will take me time to figure out, but as you can see, I've kind of got a grasp of some of this already, and some of the circuits are actually easier to make than others. And if I can't think of any way to build this, I will definitely take to some videos or some like help websites with redstone, and I'll get some ideas for it, run it by you guys, and then I will start building whatever I can. As long as you guys want me to build it where you say. So I think that's going to be it. So thank you for watching, and contact me whenever you can. So yeah, I think that's about it. And there's also another video in here showing off some of my Cinema 4D renderings for Minecraft, obviously. But I thought they were pretty good, and if you guys need like a backup artist or like something really quick, I can make things relatively quickly. I can't say that they're normal standard of the high standard that you guys normally have, because the thumbnails actually look really, really good for your some of your series. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's really all I wanted. Or that's really all I wanted to say and show off. So, thank you for considering me for the redstone engineer position. I hope you guys get back with me soon, and have a nice day.